I just wanted to put a quick disclaimer here that this video does hold mentions of child death, so if you are sensitive to that, I recommend stepping out.
Kyle, look! It's them! Give me back my brother! Oh my god! They killed Kenny! You bastard!
I put way too much effort into this. Today I will be discussing Kenny McCormick, a 10-year-old character from the South Park animation series. Specifically, I will be discussing his death in Season 5, Episode 13. In this episode, he is shown to be dying from a condition called muscular dystrophy, which is the weakening and breaking down of all types of muscles in the body. Specifically, it is likely to be a kind of Duchenne muscular dystrophy, which targets children that are under 10 years old. While in the hospital, he is cared for by his parents and of course the hospital staff, as well as his friends and the parents of his friends, who bring him gifts and all around dote on him. His parents are prepared for the inevitability of his death, as the genetic condition that they have is untreatable with their financial situation. There are several people impacted by his death, including his close friends Kyle Broflovsky, Eric Cartman, and Stan Marsh. His family is of course affected, although we see very little of how. He is survived by his mother, Carol, his father, Stuart, and his sister and brother, Karen and Kevin, respectively. As we see more of his friends, we know the impact that Kenny's death has on them. They use another character named Butters as a stand-in, a replacement, insisting that Kenny would have done it if Butters complains about doing certain things, like becoming a punching bag for certain activities. The family, meanwhile, was most likely affected financially. It is clearly stated throughout the show that they are poor, so the hospital bills would set them back immensely. Because they were already quite low on funds, they cremated Kenny rather than having a funeral for him. Kenny explicitly asked to see Stan before he passed away, but Stan refused to agree to see Kenny, unable to accept his terminal illness. As seen later on, Kenny also asked that Eric Cartman not receive any of his specific items, such as gaming consoles. There was no funeral, as stated before, due to a lack of money, but his ashes were mistaken for chocolate milk mix by Eric Cartman himself and subsequently drank. Kenny McCormick in the show is seen as an immortal character. He dies nearly every single episode in the first 4 seasons, and he is seen going to both heaven and hell, although both for very different reasons. His immortality is something that's mostly played for laughs, but in the Coon and Friends specials, he's seen as an extremely serious and extremely powerful character. We get his perspective and see the instances of him dying and coming back. He sees it as a curse, and he's extremely interested in knowing where his immortality comes from. We learn later on that his instances of immortality are actually brought on because his parents went to a cult meeting regarding the creature Cthulhu just to drink beer and then ended up being cursed. Kenny's immortality is his parents' fault. And in some ways, that is worse to believe than any painful death that could be ever conceived by a show like South Park.
Medicine is gonna kill my friend. My friend is gonna die. He's gonna die and there's nothing I can do about it. Oh God, he's a visit.
Look out!